We see a ship in the middle of the ocean, and a giant storm is hitting them. The sailors look, and one of them shouts. A terrible giant emerges and kills them one by one. They grab their weapons quickly, but it's no use. They throw weapons at him, but he isn't affected. He grabs their captain, cuts him up, and eats him in front of them. He takes one of them and goes down into the ship from below. The sailors stand in shock. The voting begins. Who among us will be the new captain? They say, that kid, he starts first. He draws a lot, and it comes up empty. That man enters and draws 2 lots, one for him and one for his brother, and they come up empty. That terrifying giant intervenes and looks at our hero and pulls one, and it comes up him. And he says, since I have become your captain, choose now who will go to that monster. And they throw our hero, who says to them, all right, I understand. I'll go politely. He adjusts his clothes and goes. He gives him a knife. He enters and closes the door. We see him going down completely calmly, though he's literally terrified, and sneaking around calmly. He reaches below. He enters and looks around terrified. We see the hunted shark hanging. He walks, and suddenly the monster, Mr. Crab, appears. He quickly throws the knife and runs and enters the stairs. The monster reveals his terrifying fangs but retreats a bit like this. He pulls out half a sailor's corpse from among them and takes control of it and starts talking. The monster talks and says, Fidden Island. Our hero is shocked that the monster actually talks, and he will tell him, take me to Fidden Island. I love human meat. And our hero is terrified that that monster wants to go to the island near them to attack and eat all the humans there. He swallows his saliva with difficulty and says to him, I'll take you there, but we must agree, me and you, first. Mr. Crab looks at him and retreats. Our hero adjusts himself and says to him, I am the only one on this ship who can maintain it. Meaning, you need me. In other words, meaning you need me intact, not eaten. So Mr. Crab understands the talk and retreats more and more. So our hero approaches him and says, there's something else you ate that I need. And we see the ship in the middle of the sea, and the shark is eating dolphins. The monster returns the corpses he ate, and our hero is very disgusted. Crab Burger retreats, and our hero approaches to take the key from amidst the gore. He knocks on the door. Of course, they are all startled that he returned again. They open for him. He emerges to them and says, hello, and walks. They ask him, what did you do? So he walks a bit faster. They call out to him. He starts running from them with the fastest thing he has. They run after him. He quickly opens the door and jumps on a dock box and opens it with the key and takes out the captain's pistol. All of them on the ship, of course, retreat as soon as they see the pistol, and he tells them that he talked to the monster. Of course, they won't believe how that monster talks, but he will tell them that he doesn't have time to explain to them anyway. But the terrifying thing now is that that monster wants to go to the nearest island and eat all the humans there. And that giant doesn't believe how he managed to survive from the monster below. Our hero then tells them that Mr. Crab now needs us to feed him humans until we reach the nearest island, and he will get off there and eat all the humans present there. So that giant says to him, well, why don't we feed him that man since he's injured anyway, so he's unnecessary, and they agree with him. But his brother intervenes and tells them he is like us and no one touches him. Our hero silences them, and that girl says to them, we're back to square one again. We'll choose who to feed to the monster. He looks at the giant. He gets terrified and swallows his saliva, and they throw him from above, and the monster runs quickly to eat him. He opens the map and tells them that the monster wants to go here. They tell him that they have a day and a half ahead of them, meaning the monster will want to eat more people from us. So here, our hero tells them that they now have a much bigger problem. If they take that monster to the island, he will kill all the innocent children, women, and men there, and they are literally not interested at all and say to him, well, that's a good thing. We don't like them anyway. He tells them that he suggests now that they take that monster to another, completely deserted island where there's no one, but it's a bit far, and that way they can save themselves, and at the same time, save the innocent inhabitants of the island from death. Of course, they won't like this talk at all because the island is far. He says to them, come on, let's vote on the matter. He takes the paper and tells them the voting will be secret, and no one will know who voted. He says, who wants us to go to the deserted island? Draw a circle. And who wants us to go to Fidden Island? Put an X. But this way, he is appeasing the monster. They look at each other and say, let your conscience choose. They vote and wait for the result. Our hero comes out and says to them, I tricked you. I marked every paper I gave you, and I know now who among you is the traitor who is only afraid for his own interest. And they all get terrified. He draws his weapon and tells them that there are cowards among them who voted for them to go to Fidden Island and kill the innocent children and women. And he tells that man to come to the right a bit like this. And he looks at the kid and blows the brains out of the two brothers with one shot. And of course, they are all shocked. He says to them, now we are all agreed on one goal, and there are no traitors among us. And they throw the two brothers to the monster, and Mr. Crab runs to eat them. And our hero says that he hopes that food will be enough for the monster until they arrive. He sits then, watching and monitoring and writing and planning, but one of them sneaks around like this, calmly, and comes out with a weapon. Our hero, of course, doesn't notice, but they are all in agreement. He hears his voice and puts the weapon to his head. The man is shocked and says, "Please don't kill me. They raised me to be like this." And suddenly, the monster calls for our hero. He goes down to him. The monster will say to him, "Fidden Island." Our hero will say to him, "Patience. Don't worry. We're almost there." But he is surprised that the monster has left behind a whole army of small, hungry monsters. And he says to him, "We must eat soon." And here, our hero realizes the scale of the catastrophe facing him. And our ship is now passing by Fidden Island. And they look at each other thinking, "Let's change our course now to the island and save ourselves." But our hero tells them, "Don't worry, the nightmare is almost over." That man says to him, "Well, tomorrow the monster will want to eat again." So he yells at him, saying, "Just keep going as you are, and wake me when we arrive." We see later all the sailors gathering with weapons and sneaking into our hero's room. They open the door and approach his bed. They blow out the candle, and they all attack and kill our hero. But it turns out to be just pillows, and our hero is hiding behind them. He kills the first, the second, the third with fire, and the fourth and the fifth, and he is running. And here it shows you the power of pistols compared to knives, that it's terrifying. He counts them and finds that one is missing, and he finds him hiding in the box. And he says to him that he refused to go with them. Our hero thanks him and struggles with him, and they throw all the corpses to the army of monsters below. Here, our hero shocks us all and says that he actually didn't put any marks on the voting papers or anything. And he approaches that man and says, "I didn't even need to put marks." And he throws him from above and says, "Because all of you voted for us to go to Fidden Island and let the people there die." And our hero approaches the deserted island. He secures the ship and goes down to the monster and tells him, "We have arrived." The monster emerges for him, and our hero starts talking to him and tries to get his attention. And he draws his weapon and shoots at the boxes that are leaking oil. And he continues talking with him and shoots the second box. The monster here now understands what he wants to do and says to him, "My shell will protect me from anything." Here our hero will say to him, "I don't want to kill you." And he shoots into the fire that is falling, consuming them. And our hero runs from the monster who is trying to catch him. But he escapes and jumps into the sea. He emerges quickly onto a small boat, and the monster is literally burning, and all his children are dying. And our hero escapes quickly, and the ship explodes, and he looks a look of victory. Series, love, death, and robots. I adore this series. It's a small animated series like this from Netflix production. Every episode has a completely different art style, and a story also completely different from the one before it. You literally don't know what you're going to see in the next episode, and the whole story is told in just 10 to 20 minutes. And the whole series is under the supervision of the super cool director David Fincher, who made the film Fight Club. You will see beautiful, over-the-top, and very different art styles. Every studio tries to be very creative to show you its drawing style. It tries its hardest to show off its muscles in those few minutes, our little story, and show you its beautiful drawing, and at the same time, very interesting and cool stories.